We are Cactus Wrestling. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos.
Cactus Wrestling is now available on Spotify and Amazon. And don't forget to check us out on Etsy for all of your Cactus Wrestling apparel needs. We got your Final X recap. Sorry for the delay. These two strapping mics were waiting for me to get back from Europe. And now that I'm
He was
back,
away.
whoa, Jacko.
A taco.
I'm not Cactus.
Wow.
This is where you plug the other channel.
Yeah, Jacko
Yeah.
Taco. So let's start. We're gonna weave in and out between the men and the women. By the way, not really a spoiler alert, but if you checked out our preview, these were all of our predictions, and as you can see, all four of us were dead even
Equally correct.
for the women, but things changed for the men. And so if you got the correct wrestler who won in the correct amount of matches, you scored 2 points. And then if you got the correct wrestler but wrong number of matches, you got 1 point. And then if you just chose the wrong wrestler, then you got 0 points. So drum roll, and in a heated race between Jack and Mike, Mike. Brother Mike,
Yeah.
Mike M was the most accurate, 25 total points. He got dead on with these last five.
Yeah,
Only
he
got
crushed the last
four incorrect of matches that occurred. Same as me, actually. I only got four incorrect total, but he got more
Oh, correct number of matches.
correct number of matches. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So he beat me by a point. Eamon was dead last by 1 point. Even though Mike Long had five incorrect for the men's.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that I don't
Even
get into it.
in three left and right is what killed him.
Yep. That actually also helped him.
He could have had three more points if he did in two.
Yeah.
All three of those yellows are in three.
Yeah.
Well, so we'll start with Audrey Jimenez, Aaron Golston. Jimenez 1 and 2, and
Oh,
we all predicted that. And
well, and I mean, it was lights out. Like, I mean, we knew that
Wasn't
this was
close.
going to be the case.
yeah, not much to report there. Congrats to Audrey Jimenez for being
I
the
mean, hey,
50
it's her
kilo
first
rep.
world team. This is great. I mean, yeah, 10-2 and 12-2. She just dominated.
Yeah.
Wasn't close.
So Spencer Lee versus Luke Lillidahl. We all picked Spencer Lee, but Eamon said that Luke Lillidahl was going to,
I
to
think I
win one
convinced.
It
match.
wasn't even Mike that said Luke was going to win one.
I remember vividly being like, I'd love to see it happen. It's just not going to.
Yeah, I mean, Luke did score a takedown,
I think
so
he looked
that
good. I think if I'm biased, I'm gonna say Luke looked not bad. I'm excited for him for U23s.
Not bad.
Yeah, hey, look, you
yeah.
can
But
say
we,
all
I
you
mean, we
want, but
said
when
it
he
was going to
wins,
be a fairly slow, not slow, but low scoring, and it kind of was.
Well,
yeah,
and Spencer scored most of his points in the first period of both matches. So
no gas tank. Couldn't hang. Luke took him into deep waters.
didn't he?
Is that your
Lee
takeaway?
even comment on it, saying like,
He was
"Yeah,
pissed. He was
I don't even
pissed.
know what I did in the second period of both matches." Like,
He he literally said in his post-match interview, he goes that he's lucky that it wasn't international reffing or I'd be hit for passivity.
Who, Spencer said that?
Yeah, said
yeah,
about himself. He goes, because I did nothing in those second period. He goes, like props to Luke. He goes, but I didn't do anything.
yeah.
And it's like, okay, that's
Yeah,
Way to
he
call yourself out.
Spencer's tough on himself though.
He's
I
a
mean,
real one.
he's
he
always been
is.
tough on himself. I think this is a cool match for when we see Luke, win the 2028 Olympics. Um,
What?
when he wins nationals next year, we'll come back to
Wait,
that.
wait, wait! You just gonna try to slip that in?
Which part?
Oh yeah, this is a nice match, for when Luke wins the 28 Olympics. That's
Yeah.
that's
Oh yeah.
obviously what's gonna happen. I mean,
Over 30-year-old Spencer. Yeah, it's gonna be. I told this before. It's gonna be the same thing as Gilman versus Spencer, except now Spencer's gonna be the old man in 2028.
you are discounting so many other people as well.
Such as Vincent Robinson.
So, yeah.
Sheldon Seymour.
53 kilos, Brianna Gonzalez versus Felicity Taylor. Mike and Eamon picked Taylor in three. It was actually Taylor in two.
Yeah.
And Taylor won.
Those were
It was a close
closer
match.
matches.
2-1 was the first
Yeah.
one. and then 6-4. So they were both competitive matches.
I mean, hey, I thought she was gonna get it done. She got it done. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's it.
I mean, that's it. There you go.
I mean, I did think they were gonna split the matches, but you know,
Yeah. Well, they were back and forth. It was gonna be. I thought this was gonna be a coin flip where it's like, okay, one wins a tight one wins a tight one. Who's
yeah,
gonna win the third time? And I was like, oh, I'm gonna go with
yeah. I mean, Taylor was more locked in. She was very stingy.
yeah.
So 65 kilos, Joey McKenna McChokey
I will never pick him for anything again. I don't think.
versus Real Woods.
I
McKenna
mean,
was, I think, blew both matches, right?
oh
I
yeah, he
mean,
had it with like less than 10 seconds to go in the first one, and then
yeah,
Woods, whoosh.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
I
tough.
don't know, dude. Just props to Real Woods. Um, Seems that he's doing really well with the Cliff Keen Wrestling Club. You know, probably would have done as well at the Hawkeye Wrestling Club, but that's besides the point.
Just had to put that
Had to
one in
put
there.
that in
You
there.
picked McKenna in two. Well,
I
in
did.
fairness,
I did.
you eliminate the last 10 seconds of both matches, and McKenna
That's what I
wins
mean.
in
I'm like,
two.
I was like, if he just wrestles the way he's supposed to wrestle, I said he should win. I said, but for whatever reason, he can't. He's just like, oh, I'm up, like throw the match away.
That's why I picked Woods in three because I was like, McKenna is notorious for blowing it, so
And
he
I
can
agreed with you.
find a way to blow it.
I think I agreed with you during the preview video, but I'm like, okay, but he's not going to blow it this time. It's like a gambling addict where it's like, next time I'll win, next time I'll win. And I'm just going to keep betting on him. And I'm like, okay, I just can't anymore.
Side note, would you guys what grade would you give this year's Team USA? I would say like a B minus.
I would say like it's a B.
Yeah,
I,
it's
I
it
like
Like,
is.
Spencer Lee. I think that Vito or Jax is going to be pretty good. I don't love 65 kilo. I think that PJ Duke is probably not a medal threat. I just think he lacks the experience.
Well,
Um,
I mean, the only guys that are returning world team members are Lee, Zahid,
yeah, Snyder.
and Snyder.
Yeah.
That's it. Everyone else is new.
Yep.
yeah.
But I don't know. And we talked about this in our best ever best USA team that we could
Oh
that
yeah, yeah.
and we think there's definitely some improvements that could be out there for this year's team, but it is what it is.
Uh 55 kilos, Christelle Rodriguez versus Everest Ledecker.
I mean,
And it was Rodriguez in two. Everyone had that. Mike Long,
Except for
you thought
me.
Ledecker was going to sneak a match. Did
Yeah.
not
Thought
I
it
happen.
mean,
was gonna
she's
be
a high
PJ Duke.
schooler. This was
Yeah,
her
but
first time at this stage.
I thought it was gonna be like a PJ Duke type situation where I picked PJ Duke to take one. I thought, Everett could take one.
Hey, they were close. I mean, 12-8 and 8-5. I mean,
Yeah, they're not like crazy matches, but
Never like in the match.
yeah. So, 70 kilos, Yanni versus PJ Duke.
I was closest.
The story heard round the.
Yes, you were closest, yeah.
Let's go.
I mean, realistically, you watch that first match, and Yanni shows that he is lights out better.
Yeah.
And it's like, how does how does he go from that? It's the same day. How does he go from that where Duke could not score on him, could not do anything to him, to
Yeah,
what happened in the
outclassed.
next two match? Like he outclassed him in
Simply outclassed.
every single aspect of that match. It was just like Yanni went out there and dominated and was like, "This is why I'm the world team member, world silver medalist." Like, but then I don't understand how he fell apart as much as he did the next
It
two
was
matches.
to the point where Jordan Burroughs was like, Yanni's the
Sometimes
best
the most
pure wrestler I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, that
After
was during
that
the.
first match, I was like, okay,
I'll put
whoa,
an
whoa.
article about that immediately, and then I'm like, there, and
I
like
was
two
like, all
minutes later, I
right,
was like, you should pull it
let's
down.
not like jump the gun here.
Um, I talked about this, and this is the rumor that when PJ Duke hit his 4-point throw on Yanni in match two, that Yanni kind of hit his head. And I'm not saying it's an excuse. I'm just saying it's something that people brought up that maybe Yanni had a concussion in match three, which is why he went the way it did. Um, but congratulations to PJ Duke. What an incredible year he's had at U20 and senior success. Does this change you guys' opinion of him possibly winning a national title if he goes 157 next year?
Hmm, not really.
No.
I mean,
Do you think he has a chance if he starts at 157? Do you think he's the favorite?
Let me ask you this.
Yes,
When's the last time a Penn State true freshman won a national title?
Mark Hall, I think.
Was he a true freshman?
I
How many points did he get from singlet polls?
questionable. Who knows? Um, I
I
think
think, I mean, here's
I
the
don't think
thing.
he's
Like,
the favorite. Like,
the true freshmen Penn State puts out there are very impressive. Look at Levi Haynes, he took second place. You look at
Tyler Kasek,
Luke, right?
Luke.
Luke was the true freshman.
Yeah,
I,
Tyler
I don't
Kasek
think
was
you could
third
just,
place.
without having wrestled a single college match, I don't think you are instantly the favorite to win it. Like,
but having already beaten guys like Antrell Taylor,
But this is
that
all
that's in a
freestyle,
freestyle
though.
well, I
match.
know,
This
It's
is
but
all
scoring.
freestyle.
do you think that if he lost to Antrell Taylor in freestyle, do you think that the argument would be like, well, he's already lost to Antrell Taylor?
I tend to separate them. I think they're two completely different
I mean, because
sports.
like again, like an example I always go back to is Carter Young beat Seth Gross and Nashawn Garrett.
Yeah,
He's like never even
not a good, yeah,
close
not
to
never sniffed a
All
podium.
Americaning. Like so, like just because you beat these really high class guys in freestyle doesn't really mean it's going to translate to folk style.
So who, assuming PJ again starts, where do you think where do you think he finishes at 157 as a freshman? True freshman.
I could see him being an All American,
Third
but
place.
You think his ceiling is third?
I know. I'm just saying that's
Oh,
where I
okay.
think he's
Okay.
gonna be. Because it's happened so often with these
Yeah,
Penn State
sure.
third placers.
Yeah.
that's
They
true.
lose one match.
The semis.
In the sense, or if you're little adults,
Well,
the
here's a
Quarters.
question I have for you guys and to the comments below. What do you think is a bigger upset? PJ Duke beating Yanni for the spot or Wyatt Hendrickson beating Gable Steveson?
Wyatt beating Gable.
Wyatt beating Gable.
Wow. A lot of people in the comments, if you watch the
Yeah,
PJ
no.
Duke versus Yanni match on YouTube on Flow, all the comments say this is even a greater upset than Wyatt versus Gable.
In some ways, because
A
PJ's
high schooler being a
high school
four-time national champion, a senior world medalist. I
silver. Yep.
mean,
I think that,
pretty big upset.
but
Yeah, but
look at like how Gable dominated NCAA
Yeah,
wrestling.
but he was only a two-time NCAA champion.
Exactly. But he was an Olympic gold.
But that's
And
a different style.
yeah, but this is a different style. Gable has the better career in folk style. I
But he
mean,
was only a two-time champion.
also
yeah,
Yanni has been plagued with injuries recently. Like this is his first stint back. Like this isn't even.
up a weight class from where he tried to make the team last time.
But you're talking about high schooler though.
Yeah, I think PJ Duke's the dog, though. I mean, I still think that Wyatt would lose to Gable if they wrestled in freestyle right now.
I don't know. I think it's pretty crazy to think that a high schooler knocked off a senior worlds.
And yet you
I also
predicted,
think that freestyle has more potential for crazier upsets
Yeah,
because that's just the
and
nature of the rules.
I mean you
but
can get a
yet
four
you
point.
don't think he's going to win nationals.
Because folk style is about control. Freestyle is all about exposure.
And PJ Duke's going to expose a lot of people.
I like what you did there.
See that? Penn
Well,
State,
let us
explosive
know
11s.
your thoughts in the comments down below in terms of what was the bigger upset and yeah, what you think is gonna PJ Duke next year at Penn State. Okay,
Well,
great.
he's already
Um,
named that if he redshirts, he's going to transfer. That's a rumor.
well,
I don't know.
we love rumors here at Cactus Wrestling.
We do love rumors.
Okay, moving up, we
America's
have
Golden Girl.
Helen
It's
Maroulis
my
over
girl,
Amanda
dog.
Martinez. We all nailed this one. Helen Maroulis in two.
And she dominated. It was pin, like
She's
Yeah.
so cool.
no question.
Love Helen.
Okay. Great, great
I mean,
insight on
there
that
was
one.
nothing controversial there. She just
Yeah, it's like,
spoke there.
hey,
Like,
I
Speaking
think
of
that was.
controversial, though, Mitchell Mesenbrink versus David Carr. Me and Eamon put the telephone down, picked David Carr,
I mean,
although in
I was
three.
confident. I was confident whoever won the first match was going to win both. So once Mesenbrink lost the first one,
Let's just
Except
put
for your
the
pick, yeah.
facts out there. You got as far to it being correct as possible, Mike. Okay, that's the fact.
I got what?
You got it as far incorrect as you possibly could.
No, if I said Mesenbrink in three, that would have been as far incorrect as possible.
Would
I
it?
don't know about that.
It was Carr in two. I
Yeah,
said it.
you said Mesenbrink in two. If
Yeah.
you said Mesenbrink in three, then you're picking Carr to win one.
Yeah.
No, I was confident that it was going to happen in two matches. Whoever won the first was going to win the second.
You
This guy.
predicted Carr to win zero matches.
Yes. But once he
So by
won the
you
first one, I
saying
knew Mesenbrink wasn't going to win one.
by you saying Mesenbrink in three, that's closer to reality because that would mean you're predicting Carr to win one.
No, because I'm saying it's going to happen in two, regardless of who wins the first match.
Let him know in the comments.
I was just about to say that.
I just can't wait for this. It's like, yeah, so Mike McKeever had the best picks, but he had no idea about 70 kilo or 74 kilo.
Yeah, was he
Um,
actually closer to the truth or not?
I
Look
am.
at these
I said it was
brothers.
going to happen in two. I picked the wrong guy in two, but like I knew it was going to happen in two.
that happened to me too. Same thing. Yep.
um, Mesenbrink looked gassed,
I think so.
like more so than normal.
Oh yeah, yeah. He looked how most guys look
Like,
after.
and to be fair, Carr looked pretty gassed too. But we've seen that from Carr. We don't normally see Mitch like leaning over, sucking air out of his mouth.
It's just super humid in there, you know.
Yeah, but he wasn't there for Final X.
Um, I don't know. This was one of the more controversial matches in the sense that like a lot of the Penn State fans were like, "Hey, like the way it was officiated here would not be the way it's officiated at the world stage. Messenbrink should have gotten a takedown at this point, but they instead called it potentially dangerous. Carr should have been hit for passivity, and for grounding. So I saw people saying that a lot, but additionally, as an American, and any American will tell you this, that overseas we are not loved, and you are oftentimes wrestling the official and your opponent. And
Yeah.
so it's good practice to be able to get it done when the ref isn't necessarily on your side, in Mitchell's case, potentially. So if he wants to get it done there and he wants to be a 74 kilo world champ at the senior level, he has to be able to beat his opponent and a ref that maybe isn't giving him the best calls. And he didn't do it this time. As disappointed as I was, I'd like to see him do U23s, and I think he'll do well. Jordan Burroughs, still no love lost for Mitchell Messenbrink, as by his commentary. He's like, he's just got to develop, and he's just, he's like, you can't just outpace everybody. So,
Yeah, he was like, good technique will always beat out good hustle or something.
yeah. And Carr has been training with Jordan, um, who's not retired, as he pointed out.
Yeah, he just needed to take a year.
Yep. I was very surprised by this. Like I said, it's tough to go from being teched in the way that David Carr was teched to
Oh yeah.
running too straight. It's not like he got in a leg lace and just happened to roll him. He took him down every time.
Yeah.
And kudos to David Carr for making the adjustments. People forget that he is a former world champion himself at the junior level, or U20. Um, I still don't think that necessarily David Carr or Mitchell Messenbrink is a shoe in the medal. But with David beating a Olympic silver medalist earlier in the year, or I guess last year now. Oh, wait, that was in January, wasn't it? The Flow card for Flow Night in America.
I don't remember the date.
I think it was in January. Um, but David Carr, obviously no slouch. Hopefully he does well. I think Messenbrink will do well at U23s and win another national championship. So we'll see.
So 59 kilos Abby Net versus Jakara Winchester. Winchester in three. We all had that Winchester in two,
Except for Mike.
but Mike
Hey,
said
I
Net
knew
in
Net was going to
three.
take one.
Mike's
Thought
actually
you
the
would take-
closest because he picked
Yes, exactly. Honestly, it probably should have been Winchester in two.
Yeah.
Because in the second match, when Net wins, she kind of shoots in a double, hits her in the face, like Jakar in the face, and then that ends up being a 4 point move or leading to a 4 point move. So like, and there was an injury t called like right immediately after that exchange. So like, arguably, Jakar probably could have won that second match as well, and it could have been her in two, but. Net is definitely getting there. Maybe she'll make the team one day.
Except she got teched in the round of 30
Yeah,
match.
the third match it was not even close. So
Happens to the best of us.
yeah,
That's, I mean, that's freestyle so fickle like that. Okay, 79 kilos. Evan
kind
Wick
of reminds
versus
me of
Levi
when
Haynes.
back when Jenna Burkett beat Helen Maroulis and it forced a third match, and we're like, oh, this could be crazy. This could be crazy. And then Jenna Burkett got foot swept pinned in
Yep.
like 10 seconds. I was like, oh, that was underwhelming.
So Mike Long was convinced, I think probably by
I,
Eamon, was it?
No, by Mike
it's
M.
100% by me.
Yeah, Eamon didn't even pick.
I was full in like, oh, Haynes has got this in two. Wick cannot do this. He chokes. This is not happening. Haynes is the guy. He's gonna get the spot. And Mike, who was originally thinking like, yeah, Wick will get it done in three. Levi's not gonna quite get it. He's like, you know what? I'm switching. Haynes in two. Like
Yeah, and this
very
is probably
dramatic change. And it was like, how was it that I was the one that convinced Mike to go with Haynes? Like that needed to happen.
I don't know.
And
Eamon
Mike,
probably said something that that, that
well,
caused it.
Hot
because I
take.
mean, Mike, you better be thankful that I convinced you, because otherwise, Eamon would have
Yeah,
been more correct than you.
that I am, and I can't take last.
You would have
Right.
taken last had you gotten
Yeah,
that
you did
wrong.
get the most incorrect.
Because if he picked
Yeah,
Wiccan three, that's another incorrect. That would have been six incorrect, or yeah, six incorrect.
would have
Yeah,
been not good.
not
Yeah,
good.
not a good look. You would have had
But
6 points in the men's. That would have been.
Yeah.
how about, Wick? I thought it could be close the first match. Levi
No.
just goes out there and techs him 10-0.
Yeah, I figured it was like Wick. No,
Yeah, I don't know what Wick was thinking. Wasn't close either match, really.
no.
Yeah. Disappointing. Yeah, I mean, well, I'm not totally optimistic about Levi's performance at the world stage, but hey, USA.
Would have been
Let's
better with
hope for the
Kyle Dake.
best. Yeah.
Uh,
Okay. For the women,
We all got
we
Honestly,
guilty.
I,
what?
no,
No,
60.
oh, Miracle. Oh gosh.
Yeah,
62
honestly,
kilos.
Miracle. I don't know if Miracle's going to make another team after this. Like Wakukwu, she's beaten before many times, and like she was able to take the one match, but like she was not the same Miracle that she's been in the past. Like,
Mm.
and even her last run at Worlds wasn't like I don't think she medaled. So like, I think this might be a changing of the guard, and Wakukwu or others might be the ones holding down 62 kilos going forward.
Mhm. Mhm.
I mean, this was one of the more exciting series
It was.
women's, because it was pretty competitive. Those two really know how to go out there.
Probably the biggest upset too.
I mean, Miracle's been on the world team for like what,
Many
5
times.
years now, like
Yeah.
at least. Like she's been a staple on the team, and I mean, she's been on the team. I mean, not quite as long as Helen, but
Pretty
she's been there for a while.
consistent. She's one of the OGs at this point.
Yeah, she's one of the OGs, and I mean, this is like, I mean, we haven't gotten to Kyle Dake, but this is like Dake, not being on the team. So for the women, so it's interesting, but I mean, honestly, I think Wakukwu has more upside at this point than Miracle does.
Go Army.
Don't worry.
Yeah, she does wrestle for the W Cap.
86 kilos. Kyle Dake versus Zahid Valencia. Zahid in two. And Mike and I had it. Eamon and Mike said Dake in three.
Yep.
Because Dake can't do it. He doesn't have it. He's too small.
Yeah, I thought that he was able to make some adjustments Like I said, I thought that he could say, "Hey, I learned a lot from the time that I wrestled Zahid, and I'm gonna be able to figure this out. I'm a gamesman. I've been in the world stage, senior level, many, many, many times." Um, but yeah, it's just Kyle Dake should have gone 79 kilo, and that's it. That's my whole point.
Yeah.
This
I
is
mean,
the best team features Dake at 79 and Zahid at 86.
would you really be all that surprised if, Trent Hidlay couldn't beat Wyatt for the spot at heavyweight?
Well, I think I can
Like,
see that one.
yeah, yeah, going up two weight classes,
Yeah,
like, oh, yeah, that's obvious. Like, that's gonna, you know,
you
or
know,
or even Haynes going up two weights to wrestle Hidlay. I don't think Haynes could take him.
yeah.
Like, it's too big of a jump.
I don't know why Kyle was thinking that, and people have kind of discussed like, oh, well, he wants to get ready for the Olympics. It goes, cool. That's 2028.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a long way out. And like his style is he's used to being like,
Strong, powerful guy.
yeah, which when you're outsized, it's going to be kind of hard to be overpowering against your opponents. Like, oh, my style is being the strong guy. When I'm the weakest guy in the room, I don't think that's going to work. Or not the weakest guy, but like still, like that's the idea of it. Like foolish.
Good luck to Zahid. I think he can medal.
I think
I
well,
think
he's done it
Sahid's very
before.
talented, and
I
he
think
has a good chance at medaling as well.
he's one of our better shots at medaling on
Mhm.
this team.
Yeah. Okay. 65 kilos. Macy Kiltsey versus
Kilty, she's
Annie
done.
Drury. Kilty in
She
two.
she crushed it. Two techs in under 3 minutes each. Like
The dog.
yeah, we knew that she was gonna go out there and dominate. Like she's gonna go get another medal. Uh, it. I know Eamon was thinking for a hot minute that he toyed with the idea that Drury was going to take a match, but then I think he got convinced by us that to not go in three. If what would have been interesting is Eamon, make all of your picks without us influencing you, and then we'll make ours. And how many would he have changed?
Yeah, stand your ground, Eamon. Come on.
Eamon's at a rap battle right now for guys that are looking for him.
Eamon's at a rap battle.
Is that like slam poetry?
It is similar.
Hmm. Okay, 92 kilos Josh Barr versus Trent Hidley. Hidley in two.
Good for him.
I was the only one that thought it,
It's because you
and
hate Josh Barr.
it has nothing to do with any feelings towards Josh Barr, and
Well, you
everything
do hate him.
was
That is
showing that Trent Hidlay was going to
Well,
win.
I don't like the fact that he didn't shake his hands, and we talked about it in a different
handshake
video.
heard round the world.
Yeah.
Well,
No,
the
no, no,
lack
the
of handshake.
non-handshake.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know. If you well watch the video, there's a down handshake like that.
That's not a handshake though.
He grabs his hand,
You
he
have to
shakes it.
grab thumbs. You have to there has to be some sort of
Had a handshake.
content.
Grip to
That was
grip.
like a slap.
They connected.
No, you're supposed to twirl. There was no twirl. The ref's supposed to twirl you.
I'm glad that Josh at least came out and said like that was wrong of me.
That's
I
nice.
think Burrow said it best. He's like Barr hasn't done anything. He's just he has to like he's like
Yeah,
he did a
it
good
was a
job of
very
controlling
boring
center,
match.
but
Like
he
the match
wasn't
was.
being aggressive. He wasn't taking shots. He waited too long.
Yeah, he's still young. It's a learning experience for him. Um,
Hey, can I win the match if I don't do anything? Don't try to score, and I generally just am
Only if
physically.
you're Spencer Lee.
But he did try to score, only in
Not in
the
the
first.
second periods.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Spencer Lee
think
would have been in
height.
trouble with the rules that were around when I was in high school, where you had to win Beth 2 out of 3 periods.
yeah,
Oh,
that
I remember those days.
I
That's
hated
so
those.
stupid.
You could be up huge and then not score the next 2 periods and lose.
Yeah, I forgot about that. That was so. They've really changed the rules of freestyle a
for the
lot.
better, I would say in that
They
case.
change them often, and that's why even as a casual, like if you're a casual fan, it's very hard to follow because they're constantly changing.
Do you remember the days where you had to bring your own towel and stuff it in
Yes.
your singlet?
Yes.
Yes, I
Yeah.
remember that watching Foxcatcher, and people were like, "What are they doing?" I was like, "That was actually like a rule."
Yeah. If you didn't have a towel, you couldn't compete. If you come in the wrong singlet color, you couldn't compete.
Yeah. Wild days. Yeah, you had to buy a reversible singlet.
Or borrow from stranger or friend.
Yep. Yep. So 68 kilos Kennedy Blades in two over Brooklyn Hayes, and
These
we
were actually
all
closer than I thought they were going to
we
be.
all nailed that one.
Blaze is having a hard time making 68. She's so big.
I mean, she wasn't she the 76 Olympian? She's down 8 kilos.
Yeah,
Good for her.
good for her is right.
She should have gone 72.
But yeah, if she knew that Amita Lore would
Yeah,
be defaulting out.
no
Yeah.
one knew that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's Kyle
Hey,
Snyder versus Hayden Zilmer,
why
probably the
didn't
most.
any of us guess for 72 Gloud and Zero?
Well,
Good question.
no, we did. We did. We all thought that she was going to win zero matches, and that's what she did.
She did win zero
So we
matches.
should all have green here.
Drew, give us all the points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kyle Snyder versus Hayden Zilmer, 97 kilos.
That's what I
Kyle
expected.
Snyder in two. This one was the most boring match.
This was Josh Parr 2.0. Zilmer and Barr wrestled the same matches. It was like, how can I win this match? What if I don't try to score? Will I
Yeah,
win?
but Josh Barr at least like actually scored.
Okay, fair, fair.
What was the Kyle Snyder rudest thing where it's like he's not wrestling for redemption, he's wrestling from it or something?
From Redemption. No, wait.
Yeah,
Maybe
it's something like that. And I'm like,
he's not wrestling from Redemption. No, he's not wrestling for Redemption. He's wrestling from it. Yeah, that was it.
yeah, it's something like that. And I was like, dang, first off, dumb tagline. Second,
You
yeah,
should have just not even
I was
leave
like,
it
he
level.
certainly did wrestle like that because he looked like crap.
Yeah. Well, and also they should have just not posted anything about it.
Like, I like Snyder, but the fact that he had a 6 point match and an 8 point match with Hayden Zilmer, who long shot his way to be like, yeah, I'll go 97.
It really was a long shot.
Like, especially if Kyle's trying to be like, okay, as long as I win, they'll forget about my issues, is not looking like he's in the best spot.
Yeah, I mean he is coming off of the first time not meddling
Yes. He's drowning his sorrows in police,
in police.
in female police officers.
Yes, yes, as one does.
You know, we've all been there.
Last week, last 76 kilos, Kylie Welker versus Diamond Guilford. It was Welker in two. Mike
Mike.
Lawn.
Only
Claps for
person
Mike
I can
Lawn.
produce.
Yeah, the wise one among us here.
Yep.
Not Eamon though.
Not
Amen. Guilford in three.
Honestly, I
Yeah.
think he could not be more wrong.
Again, I disagree.
He said Guilford in three.
Yeah,
Welker-
he's picking Welker to win one match. Which, yeah, Welker did win.
Didn't go to 3 matches. It went in 2 matches.
It doesn't matter. It matters how many you're predicting. Like you're winning. You're picking the win and losses.
If you're saying it's 1 point for being correct and 1 point for being correct in the number of matches, Eamon was wrong in the winner and wrong in the number
Well,
of matches.
this might be a flawed ranking system. Who knows? We just did this on the fly. But the fact of the matter is, he predicted Welker to win one match, and Welker did win one match.
I don't think that's.
I think it's more inaccurate to pick
No, I
Guilford
I
in
think
two.
what he did is as inaccurate as you can get.
I disagree.
I
Disagree.
very much disagree.
There's two extremes. You have, I pick, let's use the other example, Carr in two, then you have Carr in three, then you have Mitch in three, and then you have Mitch in two. Those are the two extremes.
No.
Ah, boy.
I still can't believe Amit Allure is out because of anemia.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That seems like I just was surprised. Not to like, I'm still shook about that because she's still making videos and TikToks and like her training. I'm like, okay, but
Just
like,
because you have anemia doesn't mean you can't do those
that's
things.
what I'm, but if she's able to do that and then she's up a weight class than what she competed at the Olympics, why is she
I mean, her
unable to?
training might be really toned down from what it normally would be for like if she was training to compete at the Worlds.
I just don't understand. Like, it's, and because she didn't medal at 68, at 72 kilo, because she was down at 68, she doesn't get the extension that friggin' Vito gets.
Yeah, I mean that's a flawed
It's a
ruling.
flawed system, dude. You have one person that's actually going to win worlds, and then you have the other person.
Yes.
You don't win it. Not to be like a downer on Team America, but like, yeah,
Well,
like you
let's talk
have.
about our last weight. Speaking of America, Captain
Yeah,
America, Wyatt Hendrickson over Trent Hilger, Wyatt in two, and that's what did happen. Although
it was
do have to give some kudos to
Hendrick.
Eamon because he was talking up Trent Hilger, and Hilger had some big throws. That second match was pretty wild. It was, I think,
20 to
what,
14.
18 to
Wasn't it like
12,
No, 20 to 14, dude.
20
yeah.
to 14, yeah.
Yeah, I was
It's
gonna say,
crazy
wasn't it
for
like a 30
heavyweights.
plus point match?
Yeah, and Hilger had the lead pretty late in the match. He had a 4 point or 5 point move or 6 point move.
Much more exciting than the first match.
Yeah, the
Yes.
first match was,
At 90-second tech.
yeah.
Yeah, much more exciting than that.
But Wyatt looks good at the weight. Um, he's got to get a little bit better on some of those leg defenses, but I think I feel confident. If Mason Paris could medal, I think Wyatt can medal.
Definitely.
So you got an Iowa, a Michigan, a Penn State, an Iowa State, a Penn State, an Oklahoma State, an NC State, a Penn State, and Oklahoma State. And
Imagine
then,
if they all trained together.
yeah, we should have something for that, like a training center for the Worlds and the Olympics. I don't know what we would call it though.
Yeah, right?
You some
We could have like camps where they travel together and like get to other countries earlier to like acclimate.
Oh,
God,
well,
this would be good. We should
some
and
next
like
level thinking you got
the
here.
second and third place guys for the team could even go with them, and we could call it like the national team.
I think
Nah,
you're onto something here.
now you're crazy talk.
How about Marcus Blaze bumping up a weight class and taking out?
I got a better name for that team. Call it Eamon's Boys.
Amon's
I
point.
wish Aaron was here, dude. I miss him. I know he's busy. He had to log off, but I think he'd have a lot of fun with this one.
Uh, yeah. Well, I know you're high on Marcus Blaze, and I just want to say something about the Boat Bassett. I know a lot of people were commenting on the video about him being like this mega star or whatever. I don't know if he's like the most. He's definitely the most hyped high school prospect, but I feel like his like status as like a mini celebrity makes him like seem like he's better of a recruit than maybe others. I don't know if that's
I think Bo's really good, and I think that people are going to dislike him because he's Bo Bassett, and people are going to like him because he's Bo Bassett. And not to make this a Bo Bassett video, but people were like, "Oh, like he's automatically terrible because he didn't make the U20 team," and it's like, okay, um,
Well, neither did Mitchell Mesenbrink.
how about the fact David Taylor made one age level team, and it was when he took eighth at U20s. David Taylor will have a pretty good career. I don't know if you guys know about how many age level teams Jordan Burroughs made, but let me tell you, it's zero.
I mean, it seems pretty indicative of how
Like
good
these,
your career is going to be. Is how many?
like they're like, oh, can you believe that? Like the 18-year-old didn't make the U20 team. It's like, dude, he was a U20 bronze medalist a year ago at the same weight, a year younger. And I think if anything, it just speaks volumes to how good our team is. That we have depth at 65 kilo. Not, Joey McKenna, obviously, but we have other good wrestlers at 65 kilo. Um,
well,
yeah.
that's our final X recap.
Long awaited.
The long
Do
awaited.
you want to do quick true thirds just to give them a recap, or just let them tune in for another day?
I don't personally care as much about the true thirds,
Ah.
but if you want to,
I would
You-
like. I'll list them quick because
yeah, go.
we have a local wrestler on this for us actually. Kendra Ryan,
I mean, is she local? She wrestled her freshman year of high school and then left and hasn't been back since. So
local wrestler. Um, Liam Cronin over Nico Provo, 10-3 at 57 kilo.
there's a local guy.
Nico Provo. Marcus Blaze up over Brock Hardy at 8-2 at 65 kilo.
You just wanted to say
Parker,
that.
I just like that's the only reason I'm doing this.
This is the
Ian,
whole reason. That's all he wanted to talk about.
Ian Parker over Bryce Andonian, 7-4 at 70 kilo.
He doesn't care about that one.
I was surprised about that. I actually thought that Bryce Andonian would win that. Um, Jerry Jaquez over Joey Blaze, 6-4 at 74 kilo. Carter Starachi over Parker Keckeisen, 4-3 at 86 kilo. Kendra Ryan over Anya Falcon by forfeit at 50 kilo. Sydney Petzinger over Sage Mortimer by forfeit at 53 kilo. Lexi Janiak, personal favorite of mine, over I always mess up her name, but it's Achito Motopetis, I believe. 4-4 on
Shield.
criteria. What's up?
So chill.
Okay, well, like I said, I messed it up. At
So
59 kilo, Alara Boyd over Savannah Cosme by Tech at 62 kilo. Jen Page over Bella Meir, Frank Mir's daughter, who's like absolutely a stud as well. I don't know if you guys remember Frank Mir for UFC.
Yes.
His daughter, Bella, is like a champion in wrestling, MMA, and jiu-jitsu. Like those are the three sports she's like world team member for, basically. But she didn't make it this time. She lost by forfeit to Jen Page at 65 kilo. Tough match. Real barn burner. Latifah McBride over Solon Piercy by tech fall at 68 kilo. And Kaylin Albrecht over Skylar Grote by decision at 6-4, 72
That one
kilo.
was surprising that Grote
But
lost.
that solidifies that USA Wrestling did the right thing by not giving Skylar the wrestle off.
Yeah.
Because if she beat Kaylin Albrecht, then we
Yeah.
can say, okay, there's reasonable doubt that you should be wrestling for the 72 kilo spot. But the fact that she couldn't beat her just
Now
shows.
you don't have a leg to stand on.
Yep. So this is the Team USA, baby.
So if you've made it to this point in the video, now we would love for you to comment down below if you think that Mike should run our Cactus Twitter page.
I run from nothing.
We're dying to know.
It'll be a lot of
So-
memes.
Yeah, everyone loves a good meme.
Everyone loves a good meme.
So drop a comment down below. What are your thoughts about Final X Team USA? How do you think we're going to do in the World Championships? We need to know. And congrats to
Congrats.
Mike M for being the most correct out of the four of us.
Yeah.
Speech.
I'm just happy, that Eamon was so wrong in so many ways.
Hey, dude, Eamon's getting it today.
That
He's not
is
even here.
brutal. That is
Defend
I
himself.
told him because he wasn't going to be here that I was going to give it to him. So
well. Face that fire in the comments.
Well.
Thanks for watching. We are Cactus Wrestling, and we'll see you next time on our next video.